Okay.
Welcome back. Councillor Nagpal.
As I was saying, it's only the Labour Party that's going to fix the NHS. We're going to put 8,000 more doctors into the NHS, 5,000 more care workers, 3,000 more midwives. It's because we care about the NHS and we have a plan for how we're going to fund it.
Okay.
The Conservatives have no clue.
Okay, let's go to Dr. Asha Raza. She's also councillor.
I'm highly entertained by your idea of things being so much better under the coalition, because my experience on the ground as a campaigner for the NHS and as a local councillor has been quite the opposite. People are hurting bad. We never had food banks, we never had hungry children, we never had the level of poverty and child deprivation that we're seeing, that the children are suffering on the ground. My surgeries are full every week with women and their children really suffering third world poverty, and that I never saw before in my area.
So
these are my neighbours in Ealing.
What is the way forward? How the Labour will do this?
No, I'm afraid we listen to you. So you're talking about you being in a very privileged situation where you have
No, Mr. Ranji, please.
You've clearly got you're sitting in a very privileged position.
Mr. Rami Ranger, please let.
Are you seeing hundreds of people every week with the problems that I see? I don't think so.
Dr. Asha, everybody is blaming the Tory party for NHS.
Yes.
How the Labour will go to repair this?
The Labour Party is looking at integrating social care with the NHS so that we don't have this, I hate this word, bed blocking, but that's what's happening, is that we have a lot of very, very frail elderly people who are kept in hospital because they live on their own. If we have a system where the social care is better and that it's integrated so that we know what's going on, that they won't be left on their own at home, going home, often with very, very acute conditions.
What is the homework for the funds? What homework have you done? How you create the funds for NHS?
What we're saying at the moment is the mansion tax will pay for it, so that the people who do have the means to pay for it will pay a bit more, which is how we've costed it. I think that that's perfectly fair, because some of us have a lot of thankfully, we're in a better situation than a lot of people, the many who are suffering under this current situation. Also, we've gone through the biggest restructuring of the NHS, and billions of pounds have been spent on this, wasted on this, should I say, because it's actually taken apart what we had, a very efficient top of the range. We never were in this situation at 2010 that we see now. In the grassroots, and I'm an NHS campaigner, so I speak to the staff and I speak to the patients on a regular basis, and these are the people who work with me. And what I'm hearing on the ground is that things have never been worse. And in Ealing, they've taken away our A&Es. We're now currently facing our maternity services disappearing. And I'd go as far as to say that because Ealing serves the deprived area of Southall, that we are sort of left out to dry, if you like, for the nicer parts of our borough, which might be served by hospitals that are still given funding.
The government representative, Mr. Rami Ranger, he have to answer. I'll give you the mic. And Councillor Nagpal, you want to add anything before he starts?
Okay,
just want. Do you want to add? Then don't interrupt him when he's answering.
I won't interrupt. I just want to give a specific example here. My sister is a doctor in the NHS, and last year she graduated from medical school and started her career in the NHS as a doctor. Now, when she graduated, she was one of the lucky ones to get a job in the NHS. Not every single student who graduates gets a job in the NHS in this country, which is a real shame, because you've studied for 5 or 6 years to become a doctor. The NHS contributes to that because, when doctors are training, they are also going to hospitals to learn the ropes, shall we say. So the NHS contributes to that, but at the end of it, they don't have jobs. A lot of them don't have jobs. And it's such a shame that there isn't enough money being put into the NHS that would allow all of these students who graduate to then go and pursue their career as a doctor.
Okay. Let me put the question to you. जो वो कह रही हैं कि NHS में जॉब्स नहीं है, NHS पे फंड्स नहीं है, लॉन्ग वेटिंग लिस्ट है, आपके पास कोई प्लान नहीं है, और लेबर जो आके वो इसको सारा ओवरनाइट ठीक कर देगी. What you say?
Okay, okay. I think it's a wishful thinking. First of all, please, please, as a businessman, I can tell you, the only a strong economy can support strong national health and sustain national health, because you
And
cannot
education system.
and everything, all the public services. You cannot make people poorer and then make poorer richer. That doesn't work. You have to make sure that the system is there for people to be able to compete with the rest economies. You cannot tax and spend. You had 11 years of Labour Party rule, and you can see the national health status that time. Now they are in opposition. Now they're blaming the government. They're not talking about the low inflation, high employment, wages are going up, economy is growing up. They are not talking about all the good things. You know, like a fly will go and sit on the rubbish all the time. They will pick up the rubbish point, national health. Where the money coming? Let me give you a mention tax. All my life I worked hard to live in a decent house. Now these people come, the party of high taxes and
What
high
do you mean
spend.
these people? Who these people?
Labour Party.
Oh, Labour
They want to now tax me. I pay tax on the money I earn. I made a house, and now they want to give me mention tax. There are over 100,000 houses, over £2 million in this country. If they take £3,000, that means I have to earn £5,600 to be able to give them £3,000 tax free. So that means, just imagine, so they will earn £300 million. Then the remaining 25,000 houses are over 3 million. That means they have to tax them £36,000 each to make the rest of 1.900 million pound. They have no idea how to do the calculation of mention tax. Mention tax people will disappear from this country. People will not be able to afford to live in these big houses. There'll be more pressure on the public houses. The market will collapse. These guys, for something, for nothing society, they never encourage people that, look, this is a rich country, the systems are very good, we should work hard, we should pay our way, rather than they create a dependent culture and they buy vote through inducement. And you know, the benefit system is slow poison. It systematically makes people dependent on the benefit. It's an opium, and then they never work hard. They never contribute much more, because the benefit system is for the weak and the vulnerable. It is not to be abused, not to live in better houses, not to drive better car while you are working hard and I'm taking benefit. These people never contribute anything, but yet they have the BDI on the hardworking people, tax them, and then give it to somebody to be elected. Totally disgrace.
Thank you, Mr. Ramjan. आपको क्या लगता है कि NHS की जो सूरत हाल लेबर में थी और टोरी में थी, क्या डिफरेंस है? Start with one by one.
वर्ष से वर्ष होती जा रही है, इसमें कोई शक नहीं है.
So Labour was better or the Tory is better?
देखें, बेटर पोजीशन जो कंपैरेटिवली वो वर्ष हुई है, सिचुएशन बेहतर नहीं हो सकी, इसमें कोई शक नहीं. दूसरा, इनका इकोनॉमी के जो हवाले से जितना भी बात करें वो ठीक है, वो होनी चाहिए, लेकिन जो लेबर का इशू आइडेंटिफाई नहीं कर पाए उन लोगों को जो अब्यूज सिस्टम कह रहे हैं, वो सिस्टम अब्यूज हुआ, वो बेनिफिट का कसूर नहीं है. बेसिकली बेनिफिट्स गए हैं, वो कुछ इस जगह पे भी गए हैं जहाँ पे लोगों को नहीं चाहिए, तो वो एक सिस्टम, वो सिस्टम को वो बेहतर बनाने की ज़रूरत है. लेकिन बेनिफिट सिस्टम ज़ाते खुद वो ऐसा नहीं है कि स्लो पॉइजनिंग हो या उसको ख़त्म होना चाहिए या इस सोच के साथ आगे आना चाहिए टोरी को कि हम इसको जो है वो इसको ख़त्म कर देंगे, रूट आउट करेंगे. ऐसा नहीं हो सकता ऐसी सोसाइटी में जिसने बेस ही अपनी वेलफेयर सोसाइटी के नाम से की हो. तो इसलिए इसको जो है वो सिर्फ बेहतर बनाने की ज़रूरत है.
जी, मैं तो वापस उन्हीं पॉइंट्स पे जाऊंगा. पहले मैंने अपने टोरीज ये कोलिशन गवर्नमेंट से की.
NHS कौन सी बेहतर थी?
NHS वर्स्ट पोजीशन की तरफ गई है, बेहतर नहीं हुई. ये तो एक एडमिटेड फैक्ट है, इसमें तो कोई ऐसी बात नहीं है. दूसरा, जुडिशियल सिस्टम के बारे में, सॉरी, क्रिमिनल जस्टिस सिस्टम के बारे में वो बात की थी. वो 500 फर्म्स को दे रहे हैं बजाय के 1600 फर्म्स को. लेबर वालों ने ये एक अंडरटेकिंग, दूसरे लफ्जों में उन्होंने एक ये वादा किया है कि वो दे विल रिवर्ट इट बैक टू द नॉर्मल as it was 1,600 firms before.
We will ask the Labour as
I don't know whether they will keep that promise or not.
Secondly, before election are different than
after election would be different. And the second is about, because we are all here, almost I think everybody is immigrant, or their forefathers was immigrant anyway. And then it's in
ourselves immigrant apart from these two girls.
Okay, no worries. And then the second was the issue of the education. You know, the UK's educational system is comparatively better than a lot of other countries. And then the lot of people, they come to study here and they pay their tuition fees is about £9,000 or £11,000. What the students facing at the end 2 months into the education, 3 months into the education, or year into the education, before they complete it, the college disappear.
Okay.
I don't think so anybody is doing for those victims. We can understand they come into.
We are talking about NHS today.
Yeah.
No? Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Nawab, please, 30 seconds.
NHS की
which
जो
was
है
a better?
दोनों बेटर नहीं है. लेबर ने भी बेड़ागर किया है और जो प्रेजेंट है उन्होंने बेड़ागर किया.
ज़्यादा किसने बेड़ागर किया?
दोनों ने बेड़ागर किया. कोई काबिल तारीफ नहीं है. हमने we can't give compliment to both government. अच्छा, लेकिन मेरे 2 क्वेश्चन भी हैं दोनों लेबर वालों से. पहला क्वेश्चन मैं मतलब
Okay, we got only 2 minutes, please.
Yes,
quickly.
आयशा साहब से मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि जो आपके एक्स जो लीडर थे टोनी ब्लेयर, उन्होंने नेशन को मिसगाइड किया.
नवाब साहब, which was the better NHS?
सर, NHS बेटर इसलिए नहीं है कि जिस हॉस्पिटल में भी आप जाए वहाँ पर इंपोर्टेड डॉक्टर और नर्स बैठा हुआ होता है. इवन दे कांट स्पीक प्रॉपर इंग्लिश.
थैंक यू.
कैसे आप इसको ठीक कर सकते हैं?
आपका इनपुट आ गया. जी जी, you will answer that. हाँ जी, 30 seconds please. We don't have much time.
Yes, मेरे ख्याल में NHS की पोजीशन वर्स से वर्स हो रही है और बीइंग अ वेलफेयर स्टेट जो गवर्नमेंट की पॉलिसीज़ या दोनों बड़ी पार्टियों की पॉलिसीज़ होनी चाहिए वैसी होनी चाहिए कि टू द बेस्ट इंटरेस्ट एंड वेलफेयर ऑफ द कम्युनिटी और बेस्ट इंटरेस्ट एंड वेलफेयर ऑफ ऑल द पब्लिक, कि जिसमें हर बंदे को हर शहरी को जो इधर रह रहा है रेजिडेंट है उसको बेटर हेल्थ की सर्विसेज, एटलीस्ट हेल्थ की बेटर सर्विसेज मिलनी चाहिए जो कि बहुत वर्स्ट हुई है. इसमें बेहतरी होनी चाहिए.
थैंक यू. आयशा, आप इस पे 20 सेकंड में अपना इनपुट दे दें मुझे सबसे.
हाँ, जो हम लोग की जो NHS है वो is the envy of the world. It was the middle of, you know, it is the thing that every country, every civilized country aspires to. It was brought in by Labour. It will be sustained by Labour, and it will be carried on forever by Labour. Hopefully, it's a unifying thing. Rich, poor, old, young, we can all access the NHS.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Nagpal, you want to speak in Punjabi? No problem.
I would just like to say that we're talking about which party has done what to the NHS. We should be talking about which party is going to fix the mess that the NHS is at the moment, and that's the Labour Party. And
That's
secondly, I just want to say on the point that you mentioned about you go to hospitals and people can't speak proper English.
Because
Under
there's
Labour,
imported doctors sitting and even nurses are sitting in the hospital.
Firstly, 40%.
Why not the local people?
Let me speak, please. 40% of the staff in the NHS are foreign-born, and we wouldn't function without them, and that's something to celebrate. But secondly, I would make this point to you that under Labour, anybody who comes to this country to work from another country and they're in a public-facing role, they will need to know how to speak English.
Okay, thank you. Now we want the official input from Labour, then the Tory, then in the end the Labour Dem.
Are we still talking about the NHS?
Generally, election mein, why people vote for you?
Okay,
why people vote for you?
I think, like I said earlier, there's a clear choice facing the people.
Why
Labour,
people vote for you?
Labour is going to deliver for the working families.
Okay.
Labour is going to make sure the quality of life of the working family improves as it hasn't improved over the last 5 years.
Just 2 reasons, Mr. Ramiranjan, why people vote for Tory. Two reasons.
2 reasons. They have to look at the track record of last 5 years. The inflation is low, interest rate low, pound is strong,
Number 2,
growth is there. Second is that you can only have strong public services with strong economies, and if you start taxing people, high tax and spending, it is a fallacy to think that by taxing people you can sustain NHS.
Thank you, Mr. Ramiranjan. Mr. Farooq.
लेबर पार्टी 11 साल हुकूमत में रही और उन्होंने किया क्या था? Borrow more and spend more. That's what I'm going to tell you, sir. Borrow more and spend more.
Okay.
आखिर पे आके उनके ही finance minister ने कहा था कि there is no money in the bank to spend.
So why they vote you now?
So this is the reason why we are saying that Vince Cable and Danny Alexander, two of the people have fixed the economy, and we can trust them to fix the economy.
आपने हमारे मेहमानों की सारी बातें सुनी. मुझे दीजिए इजाज़त. नेक्स्ट वीक फिर मिलते हैं. बाय बाय फॉर नाउ.